eno muliro amoti nkoko ikaina tunihiza ekira Paris aho St Jude urano kyale harire nja kusaba osambi hakaire oije owerole amani ga moyo mwikirira amani ga mukama nkoko gakora emirimo yago moya akora emirimo ye uruga sai 10 by pura fire ebintu ngamire omuhereza wa mukama mazire kwiga
abantu bamanyire Father Kasanga ki
yes
tatumironde rero no Father Godfrey Bucha
Father Godfrey Bucha niwe Father Kasanga gambire genda
ono
kandi
akuchikora kana kukisemereza kurunjo kukira
Father Godfrey omulima gutandikire kugura gona gukorwata kurungi ekijaguzo ky'omwaka guno ky'omulembe so hati tukulenga tukutekaniza kujaguze kiro kya Paris yaitu ya St Jude nicyo kora zino entekaniza zona zigero maiso orayina bulemezi birwaire birarani bitera amajwe bintu tokwekenga okwate sente nizirabamu ija bwija ha St Jude tutandikire kiro kino tukurazamo tugenda kusiba munyenkya tukyole tulale munyenkya okwika kya kabiri turamarane kitambiro kya misa kiratandike saha 3 za nyicyakara yes hati muije tujaguze na Paris yone ya St Jude hatu hanu kusabira abantu ba mukama ruhanga muije tusagike Paris ya St Jude abo mukorogo uraburiyo ko kubondeze mukoro bugende kurungi ija ha Paris ogambe nkwenda kusagika mukoro guno itekaniza zigeze kwenda zigendo maiso kurungi oina sente zawe zirete ine bitoke leto mucheri leta embuze nkoko leta abantu kusemba semberero kirekyo tukongera kusaba ebisomesa n'abasomesa tuongere kuteka mamani tulete report butakira nyike saha ina abataka lesere butakira saha ina nuko turole entekaniza nkwera aba hano ha Paris emigongo yaitu mugimwe manyire bakuru b'emigongo tuongere mamani naitu butakira nyike saha ina turole umukuru mugongo arataka kwikira umusere asobole kumugamba kwate 15 kwato mutwaro kwate million mugende tujaguze kirekyo tukusaba abantu mwije mu bwingi tujaguze kya kabiri tujaguze kiro kya Paris yaitu ebiro byo kwezi 19 nibo Paris ya kingwiro mbutongole mwaka gwe 9 so tukujaguza kya kasatu kino kinene ijakwa ni miaka 29 miaka 29 Paris kuruge kinguru aho ekijaguzo kiri kyamani kiro mugia bantu bakusemere basemereirwe kiro kino nkole abantu basemereirwe bagamba isaha ziraikadi naiwa loko ija
ndozero obunanka obu emihanda yona ni bayire cyaro mayire
bokwe oboino garuka orozira abahimbiro bubaga obukeka baloho bakwija ndozire wembayire ni kwasire guno gwa Hoima Road alima bakuruga muro bujenjo nsangire nabo ni bayija gwa Kinyara kuna bakibona nkura naba kusenseka kuno Kimengo bangambi nabalo muhanda bakwija nuko tusemerwe weekend eno obo nitulindiraga Kristo kwija yes Kristo kwija omulitwe tugonza kubatabaruka inywena kandi tuongere kusagika omukorogo gurungi muno mugenda kutunyumira itwena tutekemo amani program ama okwikirizo kulengesibwe program enu ere live bogenda YouTube typing aburundi teka migambo BBS FM Masindi oja kurora no tra live hanu rundo turole na ka radio kawe na hanu no tra live BBS FM radio Masindi broadcasting services okay genda mu simu yawo typing amo akigambe then kya kabiri program eno chale gonzo busagi kusobora kubuli yoko no yenda kuteka mesenta abandi mpabuza tubisagike tuta tugenda sabite kwija tujja kuja na namba isemeno
yes
baitu kusaba kwa kubuli yoko kwenda kusagika obuhereza bono ugendo mu maiso tujja kusaba enamba tujja kuja na iki sabite kikwija rundo kusobora kuija ha Paris ne bahasa yano gamba zino za radio program teka mu ofisi ya father ya secretary umsomesa gamba zino za radio program tugonza niko tutahwamani omunsaho kuno ebintu biturubatire kurungi naitwe so rabuli yoko support yege kwetagibwa abali hara tujja kuba namba esimu abali hayi gena mu office ogambe za radio program tujja kusima kusemererwa amoti nkunira abwebyo misa kya kasatu kya kabiri esaha 3
misa saha 3 zonyine tugenda mu maiso
okay kya sabite kya hoyi tukabantu kya yege santu kya yega halo musajja Martin Luza ayatatawanize mune Bible yagitalibaniza se jogu yagende yakora hayo ebyayenka nko muntu yakora we dine ye ati umse jogu yabayiroko akaleka y'abantu wabukuka ngamba kagaruka mu eklezia abantu kabagambira kagaruka mu eklezia abantu kabalekayo bakebe yatalibanize Bible yagitalibaniza
okay. Yes. Thank you, Gerard. The question about
Martin
Luther, the priest, Catholic priest, by the way, Catholic priest. Okay, thank you. Maybe I go. Martin Luther, if we trace him, he's a German from German.
International.
German is in the West.
Yes.
And
Israel.
Okay, we talk of Israel is in the okay, with the moment we talk of the Bible, you cannot talk of the Bible from German aspect. No, the Bible has to where it comes from. It originates from, and it is in the East. We call it in the Middle East, in the East, and there is West.
Yes.
So Martin Luther was a Catholic priest, definitely, like me. Not a bit educated, yes, educated. Priests study a lot. Yeah,
very much.
So, and he had his own concerns.
Yes.
And from his own concerns, he had also people who were following him, but born from Germany, definitely.
Born from Germany.
A German national. And we can trace him from 1483 to 1546.
1483,
1546. That's his time.
Okay. Omusajja ono agambire akaba museserdoti nkawe nkafazo ono kandi alinzarwa ya Bugirimani. Baita somere kandi yegesiwe nkaba museserdoti nko basoma nga alinzarwa yoko baito hagati y'emyaka 14
14 n'esatu na 15 aho no yaferira 15 anana mukana.
Yes, musajja kafa kuzire baitu agarukiro mu eklezia akabaho ubuzibu yagamba Bible niyo kankole n'ebitabo ebirangasira hamwe bitabo ubukwawe giseize biragiro de Torah.
Now we have to know that as a person he had challenges with the Bible, definitely. The Bible we talked about the Bible in the Old Testament.
Yes.
Was made the last canon, or the last one to be finished, completed, to say that
it is over.
It took almost 1,000 years to be completed. The Old Testament. By the way, let me say this. But when we are talking of Martin Luther, Martin Luther was a Catholic, and he never left the Catholic Church. He died a Catholic. Simple. Though he dealt with the people, and they definitely left them the way they are. And it's the most challenge. There is a question that we look at. People normally say the Catholic Church removed the books from the Bible, from the Bible.
Yes.
And to me, I think it's a big lie. It's a big lie, and not only a big lie, and maybe something which is negative. Why? Martin Luther, first of all, as a priest, was not what he was concerned at first.
Yes.
Remember last time we said that the canon, the books of the Old Testament, which was before Christianity came in. Christianity came in, the Israelites had its own book.
Exactly.
The book which we said had 3 parts: the Torah, the Ketuvim, and the Nevim. The Torah is the law, the Nevim, that's the prophets, then the Ketuvim, the writings. And by 200 years before Christ, it was already finished completely. You get the point?
Yes. Okay. Tukurango Bible no twikaye tukiyegaho ngo ero mu biceka bisatu. Ekakorwa endagane nkuru Kristo atakabayiro myaka nka 2 ehoire yakuwa yatekanizibwa kurungi.
The Israelites before even the Christians came to be.
Ne kya mu Bayisirayiri bonka. Twagamba tukatunulira ebitabo bisatu. Erika chwebwa mitwe kabisatu. Ekebiragiro inaitwa gambe de Torah. Then yabaho kindi kibatweta Nevim. Ekino babarangi barangire. Then ekakasatu
writing handiko.
Na hatuina ebitabo nke byake. Mfumo kitabu kya bachibe emisango bintu nkebye ebitabo nkebye ebyahandikiro. So Martin Luther akaba na talibanize Bible y'abayudayi. Niyo talibanize.
Now, why? Jesus, many people say that it is the Catholic.
Ngoba abandi bagamba bakatoliki bayine bitabo ebibayiremu.
Luther
yagamba orugambo.
Luther. So okay, people when they talk about the Catholic, they remove the books from the
Bible.
No, they added.
They added it.
No. Luther was fighting Israelites as a priest. He had the issues with the Israelites. But now people are coming out, instead of focusing on Luther, they are focusing on the Catholics again. Because the Catholics, the Christians before they came, already the entire Bible was there. And let us see what he removed first of all.
Hati Bible eno abakatoliki tugamba bakongera munangwa. Martin Luther akawakenda aine byahire muhyamu ko muntu akayihamu bitabo kebyo.
Now Martin Luther, first of all, there are books which he removed. We are going to see them. Why did he remove them? One, that they celebrated Judaism. So for him, he was not about the Catholic as such at this moment. The first thing these books celebrate, you will realize that first of all, the books which he removed, the first point, the books which he removed first were not even the New Testament. He removed the Old Testament.
Books of the Old Testament.
Imagine he's coming 1,000 years. And he's coming against the Israelites. Simple.
Yes.
You remember he's from German and these are from Middle East.
Tukura Martin Luther no naija myaka nkarukumi Bible mazire korwa
y'abayudaya hanyuma ijya yamajingwa naki nebigambo by'endagano enkuru harugamuki
Bible empyake erimu endagano empyaka n'enkuru bayita mazire kuyama bitabe bimu ebikumukwataho.
Now if there is a person who is saying that he is following what Martin Luther did, let me tell you, today you are going to be shocked.
Boraba no hondrai Martin Luther kiyakozere hatoga kutunga mu akamunguruzi.
Listen now. If you are still saying that Martin Luther, you are following what Martin Luther did, you are going to be, as I said, you are going to be shocked. One. Martin Luther, he's the first, his Bible.
A Bible yokubanza.
And that is his. And yahondera ikukugamba teri yaye. Martin Luther, his first one was having only 25 books.
Bitabu 25.
Not even 66. No.
Bitabu 25. A Bible yakubanza ya Martin Luther.
Because he never wanted the Jews, he removed the following. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, and the moment we reach there, you understand that is the entire Torah. Then he went on the book of Esther, the book of Job, the book of Ecclesiastes, the book of Jonah, Judith, Tobias, Wisdom, Sirach, Baruch, First and Second Maccabees, Now don't be shocked what is the following.
Yes.
Then he goes to the New Testament. Matthew doesn't want, he removed it. Luke, he removed it. John, he removed it. Acts, he removed it. Romans, he removed it. James, he removed. Jude, he removed. And the Revelation, he removed. Then he goes, he jumps and says, James, the book of James is a straw. Not wanted to be burned in an oven as a tinder. Sana no kokebwa harugema karungi. So chisemrekwa nichikoraki nichinagwa kuli. If you are following what you are using Martin Luther as the one who is making your Bible what it is. I repeat.
Yes, God come back in
the Bible of Luther, Martin Luther, which people say
yes.
First of all, it has only 25 books. In the Old Testament, ebindi byona kabikiriza yayihamu binu. He removed this. Why? They celebrated the Jews' superiority. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Esther, Job, Ecclesiastes, Jonah, Tobias, Judith, Wisdom,
Sirach,
Baruch,
Baruch
First and Second Maccabees. So practically he remained with what we call the Nevim. All the Ketubim and the Torah. For him, he said he doesn't believe in it. Then he went in the New Testament. When this was done, he said, no. Let me also go to attack the New Testament now. Remember, he's coming, how many years? 1,500. Rukumi nebina nibo yazairwa rukumi nebina ebiro 10 okwezi ku 11 rukumi nebina kinana na isatu yafa ebiro 18 okwezi kwa kabiri rukumi bitano ana na mukaga Protestantism had just started.
Okay.
Oyetegerize mwe atandikiro you can see that
na Martin Luther.
It was 151 that revolution. Okay. Now so mu New Testament yagamba takwenda mu kitabo kya Matayo kasasiro Luka kasasiro
ego
John
Yohana kamubaza yagamba
kasuka kuli abukuba kubaza haki nyowe muri samurungi ni nyowe na B1 as we are one ebitako bire kwenda kubihura ni ibyo kubaza hananka ha Eucharistia takwenda kuhura ebyo completely.
Yes please.
Acts of the Apostles it doesn't complete. The book, the letter of the Romans, the letter to the Hebrews, the letter of St. James, the letter of Jude, the letter of Revelation, completely get out. So if you are using
Bible of Martin
Luther, saying you are using Martin Luther as you are guiding your yard or you are guiding principle, then you are wrong. You are very wrong. But remember, in the 3rd and the 4th century, we are talking about 200. Now, I want people to understand this. Obutugambe kyasa. Buli myaka 10.
Yes.
Kiba kyasa.
Buli myaka 10
kuruga 1 up to 99 kiba kyasa kyokubanza. Etegereze. Obutugenda 101 ekyo kyasa kya kabiri. Etegereze. So, in the 3rd and 4th century,
yes,
mu kyasa kya
kasatu ne kya kana.
What does it mean? Ekyasa kya kasatu niyo between 200 and 300. The English talks of 4, but to tuchali
mu 300.
I want to tell you, I want to remind people that that's when the church was also undergoing difficulties. The so-called agnostics or agnostics. They started producing different gospels here and there. Who are agnostics? Then we need to understand that one.
Who are they? Agonistics yes ijukatula YouTube okusobola agenda yino tusangayo yes Radio FM then
agnostics these were people who abantu abenentekereza agnostics, or if they say you are an agnostic, you are a person who believes that nothing is known and cannot be nothing is known and nothing cannot be known.
Kandi busaikisa kumanya busaiki kimanyirwe
even God you cannot know God.
Aba agnostics.
So okudentekereza ekyo
ngubusaikisa kubaho kandi busaikiro.
So they began producing things. If it is that, then they say Jesus also is not
there,
because remember they are coming in the 3rd and 4th
century.
So bakuja hanyuma y'emyaka 12 nibatandika kubaza habiki nibatandika they think themselves, they begin thinking kintu kikusoboka kita no you cannot know about God. That's all nonsense. Nibatandika kuandika ebyabo. So ekereze yagamba no. For us who have come from the foundation of the apostles, we have the deposits of faith. We know what we have and what Jesus has done and what God has accomplished. So it must distinguish from erroneous thinking of the agnostics. To distinguish them, we must decide which we must come up with the correct information about Jesus, about God.
And abasaija bano bamazire kurangu bakozere evangile yabo ngo busahikina kubaho rundi busahikiroho hati
ekyo tosobola kumanya
kintu ruhanga taroho bintu nkebi bayitekereze rugayo n'amani gayo yagamba nangwa kusigikira habitwina kandi tuli na musingi gwa batumwa Kristo abayatusigire ruhanga roho na Kristo aroho agamani bagatekamo nibahandika ebitabo bino.
Okay. Now so they have to decide which is the right message, the right message, and which is not the right message.
Bakabaina kuchwamu ekeleze kabaina kuchwamu birahe ebihikire ne bitahikire ebigambira abantu.
Now the council of Nicaea, met to decide which is the best. What should be
orukurato rwabandize orwanike kaikara kike turakora baikara kora enchwamo nazino orukurato rukagamba ki.
Now remember orukurato rukaikara omukyasa kye bisatu omwaka gwe bisatu
25 okubanza rwanike
niyo rwacwiremu ebitabo ebihikire nibyo biraha ebitabo byabisuba nibyo biraha orukurato rukaba ruri how do you call it, the council of elders, the father of the church sat down and said, no, this is what we need to go with, this is the right thing from the depots of faith that have been given as the church right from the foundation of the apostles.
Abagurusi abekelezia baikara bagamba kusigikira habatumwa rundi kusikira ali Kristo ija habatumwa bino nibyo twina kuhondera bitabuki nakinaki baikara babitaho nibyo birahebi.
Now these books which were decided, let me just briefly give you an example of erroneous teaching of the time.
Okay, akwenda kuraikyo kuraki.
There was this man called the Gospel of Thomas.
Enyegesa alakaba musaija
ayahandikire from an gnostic point of view.
Murangi otumete obisuba
Thomas akaona wahandikire na agamba women cannot go to heaven.
Ngabakazi tibakusobora genda mu igoro. Ogo Thomas ahandikire kandi abantu bagihonde.
Yes, definitely.
Nabakazi abamu bamaye bahonde
and you will find it also in other religions somewhere. Ni babiritonga bakazi. That's why they cannot sit well.
Ni basambira abakazi.
So like this, the church said no. This is erroneous
teaching.
That women cannot go to heaven and we are all children of God. How come? Okay, this was one.
Thomas.
Now, then then by that time,
yes,
the church zeroed on the 39 books.
Yes. Of the Old Testament?
Yes, 39 books of the Old Testament and the others that are remaining in the New Testament.
Okay. Hati ekelezia imazili kuikari yateka ibitabu yagumye bitabu asatu na mwenda ebyendagano enkuru kandi nabire byendagano empyaka.
Yes. Remember by they imagine now and they say now let us have one now for having Old Testament. Remember the Old Testament was already full. So the church at this moment never the church at this moment never tackled anything of the Old Testament because it was already decided. That remember there was a Greek Old Testament, a Greek
Old Testament
which contained 39 books by that time already.
Bible endagano enkuru runde kitabu kyendagano enkuru kikaba kihoire kiro mu Greek so kikaba kitakusobora garuka ngo tuyihe mu kirateke mu kira already kaba kihoire.
Remember it had come from what Aramaic. The Aramaic is the book of the Jews. Now when it comes to the Greek, when you hear of the Greek, these are also first of all it is in Aramaic. Aramaic it is the Hebrew text 39 which is complete. And now it comes the Greek also. The Greek means they had the Greeks were the people of diaspora who are not who are mixed up. There's also the same, having the same like the Jewish the Jewish and Aramaic text 39 books by that time. It had already been decided long time ago.
Ati ekitabu ekyabanze kahandiko mu rulimi tukweta Aramaic kyarugaho kyagenda mu rulimi olw'Ekigreek Ruhebrayo Greek,
from Ruhebrayo to Greek, then from Greek to other languages.
So ekitabu ekyo kyabanze kwa mu Aramaiki Abahebrayo bahandika then kyagenda mu Greek hati kuruga mu Greek kyagenda mu ndimi nezaitu zine orunyoro rugwara runyankole Bible zaturuka baite bahandize kwa mu rulimi ruli olwabandize aho tulo.
Now as we go ahead we realize that Martin Luther had a problem with definitely with that with the Old Testament, maybe from his own. But he had no authority. To me, I say he had no authority. Something had been decided 1,000 years before you, and you're just coming and say, "For me, I don't believe in you." So believers should do. Remember, Jesus, when Jesus came, he came from the background of the Jews. You know that.
Exactly.
Where did you hear Jesus opposing the Bible?
He never.
Yes,
he never.
The 39 books. Where did you find Jesus opposing the Bible? If you get it, you tell me. The Bible of what? Of the Jews.
Of the Jews. Hati omusajja Martin Luther tumulozere ekitabu akyangire ngwe bitakubyetaaga. Baiti atukwehabuza Kristo buyayizire ata Bible eri yabayiroho y'Ekiyudaaya atagihakanize nekiro neki rundi orabo nekitabo no ekikugamba Kristo akahakaniza eBible ekiyudayi girete tugisome.
Yes.
Orabo gina.
Remember Jesus says, I have come to fulfill.
Yes. Nizire kuikiriza ebyahandikiro abarangi bahandikiro.
Yes.
Hati oije oiheho ugaye ibintu bitabukwa Kristo wonyine agambire nizire kuikiriza ebyahandikirwe nebyarangi babarangi.
Remember the Hebrew Bible as maybe for curiosity's sake, the Hebrew Bible was called Tanaka.
Bible yeki Hebrayo ibara leba gitaga Tanaka. Murunyoro. Atali kutanaka kwetu kono ibara lya Hebrayo Tanaka.
Which had 3 parts.
Ekabine bichweka bisatu.
I was insist on that.
Yes.
The Torah.
Ekebiragiro.
We are just reminding you.
Yes.
The Nevim.
Ekitabu kyaba Nevim.
Prophets.
Nalina barange.
Then the Ketuvim.
Ne Ketuvim tukagamba bitabo ebyahandikirwe hali byamagezi bayubwabo nikyekyo ekikweta Ketuvim.
So the church has to adapt it and say no, since Jesus never opposed it, definitely who are we?
Kristo atagambe bino bitakorwa ibitabo yabikiriza nkubyaharangirwe.
There is no way I have heard him saying I have removed that one. Now as a believer, as a follower of Christ, why are you coming? Actually it is an abuse to Jesus if you are a follower of Jesus. Remember that's his background.
Yes. And what ati ojo oherugezgezi nko omuntu ogambe ibintu tibina akorwa kumaisa okujuma Kristo wonyini kandi wokuhondera.
So
yes.
The moment you say you are following Martin Luther, you are lost completely. You are lost completely.
Ohondera Martin Luther ebyawe before.
For example, if we go ahead, the other point is this. As we go ahead, for example, he removed the Ecclesiasticus. He removes the Ecclesiasticus. What's wrong with the Ecclesiasticus?
Ekitabu kyokuhonderana akakyami kyokubanza ne yakabiri. Akabihame bitabebe.
Have you ever read Ecclesiasticus really?
Ekitabu ekyo walusomero orole burungo buli mukitabu kyokuhonderana.
Those books which he removed, when you go to read about them, how do you feel about them?
Ekitabu kyomugambizi. Ekitabu kyomugambizi. Yes.
Honestly,
mugambizi nagamba byone byabayiroho bikabaho bikwegarukangana nagamba byona byabusa byabusa. Now
to be objective, an objective person and who really wants to be a true Christian, first go and read. Go there and read about. Then you tell me where is the problem. Is it really you? Is it really the book? For example, let me just pick one, Sirach.
Yes.
Chapter 2, for example. Whatever, maybe chapter 1, whatever. Just pick any. It's a book that I love most.
Teach. That
instruction class.
Kireke kwegesa abantu.
He who fears the Lord will have a happy ending.
Ngogwe na nyakutina mukama ali bano kumaliro okurungi.
The beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. That is Sirach.
Nga magezo mu ruhanga no gatandikira okutina ruhanga amageze no gatandikira.
One cannot justify and just anger.
Ngo omuntu takusobora okugumya
kunyokozere kino abukumba ina kozere ki nyina kiniga
omukoti nkampakura nyine kiniga kubagia kusiba.
When you go to court, the court uses most of these the books Ecclesiasticus here.
Ekoti yorege konze kitabu kya Sirach ekyo obulyo bwa Sirach yarozere mukama magezi ga mukama.
Be not faithless to fear the Lord.
Deka kuba utayina okutatina roha.
Nor approach it with duplicity of heart.
ngo okugenda kubano kwikiriza oyino mutima ogukuluga
you hear those beautiful words
kwikiriza kubano kwikiriza kwina okugurukya
you hear na muno the pastors ba reverend baraha hura Martin Luther honestly my son when you come to serve the Lord prepare yourself for trials
ngo akugamba mu kitabo ekyasiraki boraba nogenda kuhereza mukama
kumuhereza wa mukama
wetekanirize okulengesebwa bano manyo genda kulya mukeka ebya mukama birugo yes
then he goes and say you as a reverend, as a priest, as a pastor cling to him, forsake him not.
nkayo muhereza mukama
oyizire kumukora kumuhereza
mulemereho
accept whatever befalls you.
ikiriza kyone kirakwizira omubuhereza
in crushing misfortunes
omukurwanisa
be patient
birwanise gumisiriza
for in fire gold is tested.
ngwe zabu erengesebwa omumuro
niho gimanya
ndesemerezebwa omuboro niho liketegereze niyo zabu.
What was wrong with honor your father and your mother?
Otemuga osona nyoko ekitinisa
humility
nikyakwihamu ekikole kyobwebundaze bulinka hao ogo matiruza kabana akatatago nya Bible yagikasuka hali. All right. ebirungi njakabayihira yale kamibikumu watenga.
Wisdom instructs the children. Obuntu obuno obusanga
amagezi gahabura nundi gasomesa abana
hati hura kanu
akakabayihiremu. Ogo Martin Luther notukururaho musaija
he who honors his father atones for sins.
Ngobo nyakutina ise runa yakutamuse kutinisa abana alehere bibibye.
He who honors his father is guarded by the children. And when he prays he is heard.
Anyakutina runa yakutamuise ekitinisa
abaye bali muteka muki
nabalizara abana bali mutame ekitinisa kana le bano bomezi nemyaka nyingi
ebe obikorota okimanyira abantu bali mu bisirano mu bizu because obuntu buno bweberwa bo ekyokorera so rundi nanyoko baka bali
kuchikora boli mupakura naba bali kupakura boli muhebirunge naba bali kuhebirunge
hati hura kano my son, take care of your father when he is old.
Mwana wange lenga ho kurolera oso owa omubugurusibwe.
Remember, we are BBS Katonyeza Ibiri FM, Munyoro Broadcasting Service, my dear listeners, that's where we are.
And YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yes.
Just go to BBS and you find us there.
Orole bintu bino obikwatengu Bible yo ine bitabo ebyo birime bitukugamba
kuburabonesa omuzayire nayiwe mpaka nicyo kiri kuhiga umuhi ekyo sigane cyokora ki
okungula ekyo sigane cyogesa bora abo kore bibi muzayire wawe nabo kuzara bawe bagya bikukora
exactly.
Yes, utagamba nkikozere mupakwire mukozere kiri nabo zayire akasumi kalika oli kikorwa
you hear Siraki
mfegwa kasatomo wa kabiri
glory not in your father's shame.
Otenyumiriza omukuswazibwa kuso
for his shame is no glory to you.
Okuswazibwa kwete oyina mu kitinise kyokutungamu abandi bakusekereza ise mundora kazende iwe baitu oraba ni utamufuire okumufora kurungi yaho aramufora kurungi
hura ekibino nibyo bya kwasire na Martin Luther
yagamba bino
bikura. For example 4 verse 28
chapter 4:28.
I'm just speaking but it's a book that I love most.
Omurungi ali akutuhuliriza kwate kitabu kya Siraki kirakiri mu Bible yawo okiyekambire nabano kibekambise kisoma kitabu kirungi
hura. Be not ashamed to acknowledge your guilt. That's a crazy.
Otalemwa.
Do not be ashamed to acknowledge your guilt.
Osobeze
ikiriza
ensobi yokozere. ikiriza
then yagamba
ogo Siraki
use your time well.
Konyeza obwire bwawe kurungi.
You see, guard yourself from evil.
Rwanda lengaho kurugo mu bibi.
And bring upon yourself no shame.
Niko oteretero buswe omuzwaro.
Ati Martin Luther kabana afakine bigambo bino.
Rwanda sabuno otakore bibi okeretero omuswaro.
Hata kereziya. Even to the end, to the death, fight for the truth.
Mpaka nobwa okuiko kusfa rwanisa orwanira mazima.
And the Lord your God will battle for you.
Ruhanga nagya kurwanira. Nisahe kusemba yono bara kusara yorulimi. Kyonka no baza mazima.
And that's why Jesus says, be of truth and truth shall set you free.
Kristo natugamba bawa mazima na mazima gara kufora obugabe.
Omumaka gaitu for example. Be not a lion at home.
Abasajja bagambira tabanke entale omumaka gaitu. Abana kuleba bakesereka abangire kwikatahiremu bakesereka omadala.
Not that they are respecting you.
Kukutame kitinisa
tikiri kugamba tobeki
ntale. Kwika muka buloma keyata. Deka bana bayije bakwirukire bakutangire bagambe arugireyo muze arugireyo kuri kayodadi bakutangire.
Let not your hand be open to receive.
Leko mukono gwawe goleke kwikara ni gutunga butunga.
And cleansed when it is time to give.
Kandi gukekwata otakwenda kwayo. No okwenda kwikara no tunga bati tukwenda kugabira haba. Alitungire.
Rely not on your wealth.
Leka kwesigamira habugoda bwawe wonka.
Or say I have power.
Obusobozi no ganyino obusobozi. Tubaina.
Never rely on your strength.
Leka kwesigamira amani gawe wenkanko omuntu.
Never say who will prevail against me.
How gwaraija kansingura.
For the Lord will exact the punishment.
Mukama aja kuteka omusango gwonyene ogukusemerera.
Never say I have sinned yet what has befallen me.
Leka gamba nyowe nkasisa.
Kike kyambayireho.
Kyambayireho obunyasisire. Kike kyambayireho.
What's wrong with this?
Ati ekitabo ekye kabakiremu nebirungi byakyo byona. Ogwo nwe Martin Luther musajja waitu.
Hura. Be very swift to hear, but be very slow to answer. Hura omuntu.
Gezaho otwala kasumi no huliriza. Baitu otanguha kugarukamu. Obanzo weche osengeje kyo byagarukamu nikyo.
Hura kanu.
Nako kamani.
My son, my daughter,
mwana wange.
From your youth.
Ombusigazi bwawe.
From your youth.
Kurugo mu munyeto bwawe.
Embrace discipline.
Obe muntu wengeso. Omukurugo mu buto bwawe tagamba ndi banengeso nkuzi. Lekengeso zitandika mu buto okule nazo nabantu bajja kusiima. Siraki ekitaba kaba kikasukire kino mugaso. Kyonka Bible zindi zikiremu na hati zikiremu okwikiseera no gamba Siraki. Oraba no manya Bible yawe tere mu Siraki. Ola kitabu kya Martin Luther. Nja kusaba oja St Jude oyegure kitabu ekirunge kirime bitabe byona Martin Luther byayire mwaka center karunge muno. Antini ra wayina mwanda. St Aloysius Spiritual Center ebitabu birimo.
A faithful friend is a steady shelter. He who finds one finds treasure.
Ngo anyakwina anyakuzoro munywano
omwesigwa
ando
omwesigwa abayitungire cyo muhende
kikira yokuru
okahuri
biro bino twina abanywani bayitu
akujya abo kuba akunywana abo kuba kwenda hoki
akasema bayitu bora kakamuha orunda mpora ni mutandike ntaro bulemo takwenda kusasura
do no evil and the evil will not overtake you.
Leka kore bibi ne bibi tibijja kuhondera runti bijja kusingura
akanta karungi kanu manya buli buke
iki kitabu kya Siraki ngaibo kisoma to inda kirugaho
to kirugaho
kigira osoma kanu otunulire kandi bona buli burungi hati na kwate kitabu nkeke kirungi na gamba tikikusanira kwa mu Bible
hura nagamba bana mama frequent the company of the elders. Whoever is wise, stay close to him.
Hata kinu kikuhana ito abasigazi abemenyeto twekambe kurubata orundi kwikara na abagurusi nguba amagezi bahanulira kandi bahana kiro musirachi ora kisanganga Bible ya tena musirachi omanye toine kyo ina
hura kanu
kakuwa kiana konka onko bubandize sirachi akahandika kitabu hiki na kikibo mu gitabu ya magezi.
Be not impatient in prayers.
Abantu bakwenda para bagende. Be not impatient in
prayers.
Leka papa omukwesengereza. Okwenda kusaba kasara ogende nangwa
ono taina mani as if you go when you go to pray, you go to pray for a pastor or a father or
father nankatagira mani ohakugambiye pastor nankandibwa habaye mukyambe akara kati ibintu ni ohakugandeka.
That's why I say don't be impatient in prayers. And prayers are not directed to a human being. Prayers are directed to God.
To God. Esara yawe gijwe kitwale hali ruhanga hindukire kisika ugambe mukama kwesengereza bata tali gamba nyonkugenda nankani watansabiriti na atansabiriti mba atasabire ohakugambire hindukira kisika mwana genda ho mukachulero owesengereze mukama yakuhura. Yes,
hura
kitabu kyasira
and never neglect giving alms.
Akantu kanu tukechumitirizo otali lekaho okuhayo obukonyezi halabayine ebyetago by'obukonyezi.
Hura omuntu buke
kitabu ky'omulembe
hura
Bible yawe yoyine abatena musirachi egi Martin Luther ija
hati
approachwa center
kanyenko olikie Martin Luther hayakire mu kitabo kinati mpazoyi
ekyamuletereze kuya mu kitabo.
Yes. But before that, you hear this one. If you have sons, chastise them. Bend their neck from childhood.
Abagurusa abasaija baina bana bagambire abana bagole bagemengo tukibagambe batere bayite bagemengo to bagegese ni bakyali bato ni bakyali bato obalikura balikufokera ntabuganye orabota bagemeni bakyali bato bagambe twina kurubata tuti
hura. If you have daughters, keep them chaste.
Borabo ina bana baisikinyi musaija mukazi wanyakwina baisiki balinde omukwerinda kwa amani.
Giving your daughter in marriage ends a great task.
Ngokwayo muhara wawe,
but also give her to a trustworthy man, a worthy man.
Ngokwayo muhara wawe halo muswezi otagumyaga muherezayo. Sero musaijo mwesimbo mwesigwa nuwo muhereza muswere. Kitabu kyokuhana.
With your whole heart honor your father, your mother's birth pangs forget not.
Lenga hokutamuso ekitinisa kando taliyebwe ebisa byanyoka yakuzaire ebyamurumire nakuzara otali byebwa
nyire ali aba mama bagamba kurinya nabiri naturuka nkamumigira hali hakukumika
egyo atayibangige sarambi omanye bwakugambira atakusabire sarembi habwengeso zawembi yeso werabiza halo muzaire kandi ira bayisikina aboje tukuhura twe kwate abagurusi mberi baba batuhanuriye
hura kanu
tuleke kubeta kazende nako
dismiss not a sensible wife.
Otalibinga omukazi omwesegwa kandi omwetegereza abasaija twine mizego omukazi
akorozire kiri kinakari omukazi
omwesimbu no mukasuka manye ufunire bisente byawe bayiraba omukazi ogwo amaziga garagena nachura kine kidolidole kyosweire bija kusisikala.
Yayongeraho kanu nasumikaniza give not yourself to harrods lest you surrender your heritage.
Aho ote aho mubiri gwa urundi habwa wa malaya ndoka guhaya bwa malaya kutale ekyo enka malira yawo teja kwanonge.
eno akarungi kanu kali hano ka Martin Luther ku yarozere
yayihamo ekitabo ekyo yagamba kino,
with all your soul fear the Lord,
n'omwoyo gwagwona tiina ruhanga,
revere his priests,
otemu abasaseredoti b'ekitiinisa. Ate wehulira akagamba
kana ukabari father baitu nakoraki atakutamu bariki
ekitiinisa
dore byahondire
bakamube
ebyatandike byokubuganiza ekitebe cy'abayikiriza nabo bakwebuganiza mu hali na hali
akabaganiza ekitebe cy'abayikiriza yakyawukaniza, but finally yagamba kakora omusango yagaruka muka.
With all your soul fear God, revere his priests.
N'omutima gwawe gwona rundi n'omwoyo gwawe gwona owekambe kutiina ruhanga, kandi oteba kuteekamu abasaseredoti rundi abakuru bawe ekitiinisa.
With all your strength,
n'amaani gawe goona,
love your creator,
ogonze mukama ruhanga waawe.
Forsake not his ministers.
Otalirwanisa abaheereza be,
otalirwanisa kandi taliyebwa
abaheereza be. Wow.
Honor God and respect the priests.
Tiina ruhanga kandi oteekemu abasaseredoti ekitiinisa.
And give him his portion as you have been commanded.
Omuheereze n'ebicweka ebiwaragire kuheereza. Ekemu k'ikumi okitwalira omukuru wawe kutwala. Martin Luther oraba ina Bayibuli talimu ebitabo bitugambira ebyo, omanye Bayibuli yawe ya Martin Luther. Kandi
before investigating, find no fault. Examine first and then criticize. Ogamba unanka loti hendo tugira kunu bana bagabo leta bakaiso na
leta bakaiso koti ni ibyo bintu
bakoti basigikira
akakara karungi ngo otaka chiro musango.
Before investigating, find no faults.
Otaka tolerate omanye umuntu ontasobeze.
Otaka ngambira kugamba before investigating, find no faults. Otagamba ato ona asikairo rede oron sisira no
toka tolerate banzo tolereze nebo
examine first
ohenchwamo yobulio abakoti no bayihira.
Before hearing, answer not.
Otaka hulira omuntu nabaza kigambo kyona otagaruka atokagaruka mukito takagambire
and interpret no one in the middle of his speech.
Ngo muntu waraba nabaza ataka nakyali hagati mu rubazo otabane kyogamba
reka baza koreki
amalirizo rubazo rwe
amalirize
ngo nayo ufune kyo kugamba
mama
abantu bamukamakanire twegeremo omuisomo lya kino ngebitabo byo biri bingi kandi birongiti bikwaya kandi biri bingi oburungi bwingi. So abanyakuri ahero ko tujya kusaba mutoze Bible eri mu kitabo kya Siraki muke abana bakisome kandi buli kimu kigende kurungi. Tukwasima muno abayikaira program baitujuke kya kabire saa 3 tuine kijaguzo ky'emyaka 29 ka parish ya St Jude kandi omusomo ogwo kusabirwa no kusumurwa ebikolimo nebikoligo gutandikire kiro kino saa 11 bujja kuwanyika saa 6 kiro. Tukusiba munyenka nitulazamo nuko tujaguze kurungi.
God bless you. Let us have now the concluding prayer as we finish. Katubene sali okumalira mwebara lisi cyone lyo mwana lya moyo mwikiri.
Amen.
Sito murungi twenda kusima bakasume ko tuhayire kandi byo tuyikizeho birungi. Tato embabazi nyingi twenda kusava otongera kuhereza imigisha yawe abarwayire mukambo y'icyo ona mbere bakusasa mukambo ngiro mwe gwembaganiza kandi abari mu mirimo yo gomezi wa mukama nabo babungira mwe gwembaganiza mukama na wikene skaire maisi tuji kutakitera mikono yawe nuko wewe wenka ugiteka umugisha ye gwawe bitukora byona mukama bibe mu mikono yawe kandi bikire kukugonza byona tubisabe from Kristo mukama wayi.
Amen.
Mukama benayi umugisha gwa ruhango musobozi wa byona isi to mwana mwe mikirire abaho mugisha.
Amen. Mugorobe murale kurungi kwikasande kwija 24 tutekaniza Christmas enongi.
Bunyoro Broadcasting Service, PBS.
The people who think different.